everybody, happy Monday. I hope it's Monday. I lose track when I haven't left the house in like a week. Just feel free to correct me if it's actually like Friday. Anyway, so if you have not been on here before, I try to hop on here every single Monday to help share something that is helping me reach my goals, that is helping someone that I know reach their goals, basically just trying to motivate you, hence the hashtag Motivational Monday. We're all going for huge goals and we're all in this crazy life thing together, so why not share our experiences, learn from each other, etc., support each other, hold each other accountable, what is happening on my head. So I wanted to talk about this social distancing experience that we are all having together globally. I think this is one of the only experiences we'll probably ever get in our lifetimes that is global, that the whole entire world is thinking about and participating in and stressing about or working to resolve all together. And that's kind of crazy. I'll get to that in a second. So first, I want to start by saying this is making me nuts. Okay, so if you're not exactly enjoying your social distancing experience, you are not alone, and it's okay that you're not enjoying it. I am a homebody. I have a lot of social anxiety, believe it or not, and so when I have to leave the house, it takes a lot of mental preparation, it takes a lot of physical preparation to get my kid out the door. Is like a whole new experience, and like, what? And so I thought, like, yay, now I'm normal for staying home so much. Like, this is awesome. And so a few days in, I changed my mind. It's not so awesome. Okay, like, this kind of sucks, right? So there are times when I'm like, cool, I get to stay home today. It's kind of nice. It's nice out. I'll just sit in the yard. And then like a few hours in, I'm like, what was I thinking? Right? Why am I following the rules? But anyway, so I just wanted you to know, if you are kind of losing it, you are totally normal, and it is okay that you are not enjoying being locked in your house. I also want to say, if you are staying home, if you do not have a job that requires you to leave your house, and even if you do, if you're coming like straight home afterwards, thank you for respecting yourself, respecting your loved ones, and respecting the people around you. The faster we cooperate, the faster this is over with. But anyway, I heard something on TV, and it completely changed my perspective on this social distancing experience. And it was, someone said, we need to stop calling it socially distant, start calling it physical distancing. Okay, because we are physically separated, but socially we're more connected than ever before. If this had happened 100 years ago, yes, that would be extreme social distancing. First of all, we wouldn't have known it was happening in China, but you understand what I'm saying. We have so many platforms to stay in touch with each other, and so every week I like to give you challenges and ways to get towards your goals, right? So my challenge for you this week is to stop calling it social distancing and start calling it physical distancing. So physically distance yourself from people, but socially come together. We need to be socially connected like never before. You need to be calling people you have never called. You need to be messaging people you have never messaged. You need to be checking on the people you haven't spoken to in a while, and you need to be keeping communication with those that you have been regularly talking to, okay? And I would say take it a step further. Maybe do a FaceTime, maybe do a Zoom meeting, keep it super casual, but come on, guys, like, let's say you have a goal to build a business. A lot of businesses are really freaked out right now, but maybe this is an opportunity to pause and reach out to your social network. Start getting social. Let people know that you do have a business. Let people know what that business is about. Let people know your goals for that business. Try to find ways to be giving back to your community with your business. Get socially connected, okay? If your goal is to lose weight, you can still exercise at home. You can still diet at home. Yes, it's a little more inconvenient, but we grow from inconvenience, right? We grow from getting uncomfortable. So I really think that a lot of people are like joking. This is a blessing. They're joking when they say that, but in a sense, there are certain comfort zones that some of us need to be shoved out of, okay? I'm just going to say there are certain comfort zones that some of us need to be shoved out of. So we need to stop calling it social distancing and start calling it physical distancing and embrace this social society that we live in today, okay? If you need something, here's another challenge. If you need something, I don't care if you think it's little or big, I challenge you to reach out. If you need help staying on your path towards your weight loss goal, reach out to people. Who wants to work out on a Zoom? Who wants to hold me accountable over the next week? Reach out. If you are trying to save money, maybe your goal is to save a certain amount of money, reach out to people. How are you guys saving money during this time? Who wants to hold me accountable? Who wants to help me come up with a plan? Who can I work with to reach that goal? Use that social experience to help you continue towards your goals. This does not have to be an end-all be-all for our lives. And then if you see someone who's asking for help, freaking help them if you can. I'm not asking you to give away all of your food. I'm asking you to say, are you okay? How are you doing? Like, seriously, it's not that freaking hard. Send someone a funny YouTube video to make them laugh. Maybe make a funny YouTube video with somebody to make other people laugh. But if you see someone hurting or needing something, get them connected with a resource that will get them those supplies. Get them connected with counseling. Get them connected with you, because you are awesome and you can have and be and do anything. So why not share that amazingness with somebody else? Okay, and then also soak it up. That sounds so crazy, but tonight I was rocking Hannah and I'm like, girl, I have been looking at your face and almost only your face for 8 days. Probably 9 days now straight that we have been home, Hannah and I. And I'm like, that's a long time. That's a long time. Who wants to do the math? How many hours that is of just staring at my baby's face? And it is the most beautiful little edible face in the whole entire world. But after a while, after so many hissy fits and such, I would like to maybe just be away from the face for like 5 minutes. Right? So, and then I had to kind of call myself out. Like, what are you talking about? There are people that are sick. There are people that are losing their lives right now as we speak. And it's happening all the time. It's not only because of this virus. It's always happening. And I have this beautiful, healthy baby. So I just held her a couple extra minutes tonight. I just held her and I stared at that sweet little face. And I memorized every single little eyelash. And, I just, every little dimple in her hands, I just soaked it up. And I challenge you, soak it up. Even if you are uncomfortable, let's say you're trying to grow your business, and this is an extremely uncomfortable time. You're having to use new platforms to grow your business. You're having to put things on pause. You're having to reevaluate your entire business plan. Soak up that moment, because you are growing and you are learning and you are not alone. We are doing this on a global scale. How many times in our life will we be able to say, yeah, what I'm going through, they're going through across the entire globe, and we are doing it together, and we are coming together, and we are putting our egos aside to find testing, to find medications, to find anything that we can do to get past this together. On a global scale. I can't say that enough because it literally blows my mind. So please, when you're playing the same board game 700,000 times with your kids, when you are watching the same episode of Doc McStuffins on Disney Plus, when you have, when you think you've eaten your 697th package of ramen noodles and you're gonna lose your mind, just soak it up, because at one point, we were stressed. Let's say a month ago, think about what you were stressed about. I have too much to do. I have too much this and I have too much that and not enough of this and not enough that and blah, 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 blah. I don't have enough time, not enough hours in the day. And now we're all sitting around. And that 24 hours feels a lot longer. So soak it up, because that time is coming back. That time when you're going to be running to work, running to the store, running to soccer, running to softball, running to this, running to that, picking up your kids, dropping your kids off, going on a field trip, doing book club, whatever, going to the gym, going to church, volunteering, whatever it is that you do, excuse me, that's all coming back before you know it. And it's going to feel just as crazy as it did at the beginning of the year or whatever. So soak up that time. When you feel nuts, remember, I'm not alone, which is kind of cool. And this will pass. It's kind of bittersweet. Because, yeah, we want everyone to be better. We want to be back on our feet as a globe, as Earth. But also, I love staring at my baby. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys. So really just soak it up. I challenge you, when you are frustrated this week, stop and think, like, what about this can I just really take in and remember for the rest of my life? What about this really difficult indoor workout can I just really learn and grow from? How can I push myself? What about this boring board game can I soak in for the 900th time? What about just, you get it. What about this situation, even if you're still going to work, what about it can you soak up and really enjoy? Okay, and then my final challenge is to plan for the future, meaning what is something you're doing now that you didn't do before this experience? Maybe you're washing your hands more, or maybe you're washing your hands longer, or maybe you're thinking more about the products you're using to wash your hands. Just little things like that. How can you carry that through in the rest of your life when this whole experience is past us? Maybe you're playing board games every single night and your kids love that bonding time with you because life is so crazy. How can you keep doing that? How can you fit that in your schedule, prioritize it when you go back to your normal schedule, your normal work routine? There are so many things. Maybe financially, this is a really scary time for some people. How can you create a habit now and keep it going after this is over so that if something does happen again, or even if it doesn't, you are financially secure for the rest of your life? How can you teach your children to become financially secure? How can you teach your children to do things around the house or function as human beings? How can you teach them to reach out to people? How can you teach them to write a letter or balance a checkbook or, I don't know, play a card game? Hey. But how can you do all of these things and carry them through into the future? Because this might upset people, but this is happening for a reason. And I'm not saying that it's a light situation, and I'm not saying that it's a good situation. I'm saying we can all grow from it, we can all learn from it, and we can become more socially connected than ever before. How many of you have had to get on a Zoom meeting because all of a sudden all the things that you're doing in your everyday life can't happen in person? How many of you are calling people because you're worried about them? Why don't you worry about them on an average day? Are there not bad things that can happen to us every single day? Are there not financial strains every single day? Are there not time restraints every single day? Are there not illnesses and accidents every single day? Like, I hate to put it that way, but why is it that now is when we're so worried about missing everybody? Oh, I haven't seen you in a few days. I miss you so much. Miss that person just as much 6 months from now, okay? Cling to your faith 6 months from now like you are now. Cling to your family, just how can we soak up this moment, remember it, and then carry it through in the future? So those are it's totally different from normal. And of course I ended up being way louder than I planned on because Hannah's definitely asleep. I keep checking the monitor like, please still be asleep. That's reality. So let's stop calling it social distancing and call it physical distancing, because I truly believe with my whole being, as socially inept as I am and as socially anxious as I am, we need to be connecting as a community, like global community, not just your neighbor. So that was my first challenge. Stop calling it social distancing. Let's call it physical distancing and embrace our social connection. my next challenge is, if you need something, reach out to somebody, because I guarantee there is someone going through what you're going through. If you're sick of looking at the inside of your house, someone is feeling that way too. If you are hungry, someone is feeling that way too. If you are frustrated with your family, someone else is feeling that way too, etc., etc. You are definitely not alone. So please reach out. This is not a time for judgment. This is the time for the exact opposite. This is the time for us to figure out what our comfort items are and our comfort things are. What activities can you be doing, and then embrace them with other people. If you see someone else in need, reach out. Even if it's as simple as, hey, I haven't seen you posting in a few days. How are you doing? Like, seriously. Or, hey, I know you have 14 children. How are you doing? You know what I mean? It's so simple, but it means so much. And especially the more random. A random phone call means so much more than whatever. So that's my next challenge. And then soaking up the situation. Soak it up. What about your life right now will not be the same when your work schedule and your gym schedule and your volunteer schedule and your church schedule and their kids' school schedule or your school schedule goes back to normal? What won't be there anymore? And then plan for the future. Like, how can we keep it? There are so many people prioritizing family time because we literally don't have a choice. But doesn't it feel so stinking good? Doesn't it feel so good to be bored for like a second? Maybe that's just me. Doesn't it feel so good to tuck your kids in, or to read a book that you've had on your shelf collecting dust, or to paint your toenails, or to water your grass, or to pet your dog? Doesn't it feel so good to catch up with people on social media? Doesn't it feel so good to catch up on your Netflix shows? I mean, Lord, this is awesome. There are so many scary things, but being someone with anxiety, I am choosing to let the scary things roll off like a duck in water, okay? And I'm thinking about the good, because if I don't, I will spiral, and I'm worried about a few other people who might do the same. So I will keep talking until this is over, like literally Corona's over if you let me. So Corona's making me crazy, and it's okay if it's making you crazy too. You are normal, and you can still have and be and do anything in your life. And I believe that so much. And if you know me, I will not say something if I don't believe it. I will literally just stare at you in silence versus saying something I don't believe in. So I believe you can have and be and do anything. And I also believe that can only be amplified by this situation, because you are learning, you are growing, you are connecting in ways you have never done before, in ways you've never even had the opportunity to before. So let's connect. Let's not socially distance ourselves. Physically distance, yes. Socially, no. There's no need. Reach out to me, let me know what your goals are, or drop them in the comments, and let's hold each other accountable. What are you eating? What are you doing to exercise? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you doing with your kids? What are you doing with your pets? What are you doing with your spouse? What are you doing with your sister? What are you doing with your mom or whoever you live with? What are you doing? How are you getting through this? What are you doing to help your mental health? What are we doing? Put it in the comments so we can all do this together, because the reality of it is we're in it together, and really there's nothing we can do about it except follow the rules, the decisions that the government is making, and be patient and try to work together. So let's do it, okay? Thank you so much for giving me a part of your Monday. You are amazing. You're just awesome. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your day. Thank you for tuning in and being socially connected. And let's keep it going. If you know someone who needs this message, please tag them. If you got something from this message, scroll back and watch my other Motivational Monday videos. Go on my YouTube channel, watch them all there. We are in this together, so let's just keep it going. You are amazing. Don't forget that. I'll see you guys next time.